Head of Council Commander-in-Chief of the Sudanese Army Force, First Lieutenant General Abdul Fattah al-Burhan, arrived in Sinnar today. According to the military sources, the visit aimed at the inspection of the process of military operation, follow-up of security developments in the regions, and to congratulate on the liberation of Sinjar. The Sudanese Army Force announced today the liberation of Sinjar city of Sinnar state and the rebels from it. A statement issued by the army said that the force reached the 16th division and the rebels were away from it and run away. In information of the political leadership in Sudan and Egypt, the Sudanese Egyptian businessmen from kicked off this morning at Cairo hotels, which organized by the Sudanese embassy in Cairo in cooperation with the Sudanese Egyptian Company for Development and Investment and the Sudanese Egyptian Centers. For his part, Omar al-Farouk, deputy Sudanese ambassador to Cairo, said the firms held under the Egyptian Deputy Prime Minister, Lieutenant General Engineer Kamil, and the Egyptian Minister of the Industry and Transport. He added that the firms aim to strengthen economic relationships between the two countries. Head of Council and Commander-in-Chief of the Sudanese Army Force, First Lieutenant General Abdul Fattah al-Burhan, affirmed the Army determination to liberate every inch of the country from the militia. Al-Burhan also said, when addressing the forces in Sinjar, we dedicate the victory to our great people who have suffered from killing, displacement, and looting, all kind of it, by the RSF militia. The commander-in-chief wished that God would accept and recover from all the wounded and the injured citizens. The arms anti-aircraft missiles shot down drones that targeted Adbara Airport and other locations in the city at downtown on Sunday. This is the fourth attack of its kind in a row. Adbara was hit by a power outage, with the sound of anti-aircraft missiles as the results of the attacks. The Minister of Trade and Supply, Omar Banfer, confirmed that the rebel support militia destroyed facilities and affected the Sudanese economy. He also added during his address to the Sudanese Egyptian businessmen held for the second day in Cairo that the reconstruction phase will be distributed by the sisters and friendly countries that stood with Sudan, especially Egypt. He stressed that the firms of the common desire to enhance economic cooperation between the two brotherly countries. For his part, Lieutenant General Imad Mustafa Adawi, Sudanese ambassador to the Arab Republic of Egypt, confirmed that the trade enhanced between Egypt and Sudan remain stable despite the war in Sudan. He also added that trade exchange between the two countries maintained stability during the year 2022 and the year 2023. Foreign Minister announced that the official source and human rights organization documented 500 cases of rape against displaced women from areas that were involved by the militia. The minister confirmed in a statement yesterday that there are unregistered cases due to the failure to report them and that there are victims in area controlled by the militia, in addition to hundreds of kidnapped women, sexually abused, and girls sent by human traffickers outside Sudan. The statement called on the international community to investigate and hold these cases around the world. The U.S. House of Representatives approved a resolution that labeled the militia practice in Darfur against the non-Arabs and the crime against the humanity after approving a draft submitted by the Republican Representative John James. During his speech, the Representative John James, chairman of the Subcommittee on Africa, said that the militia committed crime claimed to be 15,000 lives of people in Darfur. يوم انتهى. أخش. Head of the Council Commander-in-Chief of the Sudanese Army Force, First Lieutenant General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, he arrived today in Asmara, capital of Eritrea, on official visit. He was received at Asmara Airport by the President of Eritrea and members of the Sudanese missions to Eritrea. An official reception ceremony was held for El Burhan. It is expected that Mr. El Burhan will hold talks with the Eritrean president on the way of strengthening the relation between the two countries and pushes them to achieve the aspirations of the two brotherly people. During the visit, El Burhan was accompanied by the Minister of Culture and Information, Khalid Assir, and the Director of General Intelligence Services, Lieutenant General Ahmed Ibrahim. Head of the Council Commander-in-Chief of the Sudanese Armed Forces, First Lieutenant General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, denied the statement with any political party to stop the war in the country. He also denied the call to hold a conference for political forces and stressed that the armed forces are moving toward to finish off the militia. He also announced that the door to return to justice is open to all who have laid down their arms. Al-Burhan renewed that the state interest in women issues, calling for their development and advancement in eastern Sudan. The Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Abu Bakr Omar, announced the wheat production this year exceeded 38 million tons, while corn production in the country exceeded 3 million tons and millers production exceeded 600,000 tons. This came during his press conference yesterday at Port Sudan. The minister denied the exit of the firms in the country, describing the talks of it as lies, stressing the great opportunities for agriculture in Sudan. He affirmed that more than 11 million displaced people needed relief. The head of the Council, First Lieutenant General El Burhan, returned to Port Sudan yesterday after a one-day official visit to the Eritrean country, during which he held talks with the Eritrean president, which was dealt with the situation in Sudan and a number of issues of common interest. He was received in Port Sudan airport by the member councillor Salahuddin Adams and Lieutenant General Muhammad Al Ghali, Secretary General of the Councillor. Thousands of Sudanese and Eritrean people had received El Burhan with the small demonstration in front of the Presidential Palace and the street of Asmara, welcoming the head of the Councillor. The Sudanese government welcomed the U.S. House of Representatives' decision to clarify the rebel force as criminal. Foreign Minister Dr. Ali Yusuf called on the international community to cooperate with the government to take decision to stop the ongoing validation committed by the militia against the Sudanese throughout the country. Head of Council First Lieutenant General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan issued a decision to form a high committee to follow up on the currency exchange procedures. The committee held by member of Council Affairs Lieutenant General Ibrahim and the membership of Ministry of Finance and Information, the Governor of Central Bank of Sudan, the Attorney General, the Governor of Darfur Region, the Director of General Intelligence and Security Services, the Commander of Military Intelligence, the Director of the General of the Police, the Attorney General, and the Registrar of the companies. The decision also established to create a special court to consider the currency exchange cases. The Minister of Finance in Kassala State approved the budget for the year 2026, which amounted to more than 246 billion pounds compared to 103 billion pounds in the previous year's budget. Was at the meeting of the Higher Budget Committee chaired by the Minister of Finance and Manpower, Mr. Musa Muhammad. With the growth rate of 137%, Budget Director Salah Ahmed Muhammad Usman said that the war and the previous services are among the most challenging facing the budget. This news roundup was read by Ammar Saeed for this week. Thank you.